Shot clock winding down, puts up a three. Bang! Jamal Murray once again from downtown. With two, with one to win the game.
Things got to change if the Lakers want any shot of winning this series. At this point, it kind of feels like the Lakers are just outmatched. Nikola Jokic is undoubtedly the best player in the world, and no team has been able to slow him down for any sustained period. Looking at these two games, there are clear advantages that the Nuggets have over this Lakers squad. These advantages are magnified due to the lack of counters on the Lakers front. Probably the most jarring has to do with the lineups themselves. Each player in the Nuggets starting lineup has an elite physical attribute that amplifies their actual skills. Joker is obviously a big player standing at 6'11", 284, but he's extremely quick off his feet and he's very agile for a player his size. You look at him in comparison to a dominant big like Joel Embiid, who's extremely skilled but is often very injured. The Joker's frame is massive but evenly distributed and supported, which allows him the opportunity to get a rebound, pushing the pace like a 6'4" point guard, getting layups for his teammates. Most know Aaron Gordon as a highlight reel, but the elite athleticism allows him to do way more than just dunk. He leverages his athleticism on defense and as a rebounder. He's also insanely strong, which helps him better hold up against players like LeBron James. Michael Porter Jr. is one of the most dead-eye shooters in the NBA, but it really helps that he's a legit 6'10" with a 7-foot wingspan. And we all know the phrase, you can't teach height. KCP, one of the premier 3-and-D guys in the NBA, is one of the most agile and quick players in the league. He also has that twitchy first step that helps him blow by defenders. Last but not least, Jamal Murray, he's a 6'4" point guard with a 39.5-inch vertical jump. That jumping ability allows him to apply real rim pressure, as well as make acrobatic finishes. It's different on the Lakers side because they aren't super athletic up and down the starting lineup. Obviously, Anthony Davis is a 6'10", 254-pound athlete who's very agile for a player his size, which allows him to be an elite defender and cover massive ground. Rui Hachimura is a very strong forward who has a low center of gravity, which allows him to bully players his size and smaller. LeBron James, even at the age of 39, his elite athleticism combined with size is well documented. Unfortunately, that's where it ends. Austin Reaves is a skilled player, but he's somewhat of a below average athlete. This becomes pretty apparent when he's guarding elite offensive players or when he's trying to create his own shot. D'Angelo Russell, another dead-eye shooter, is less of an athlete than Austin is. If it hasn't clicked yet, the issue is that the Lakers starting wing players just can't keep up athletically with the Nuggets starting wing players on a consistent basis. Players like Jamal Murray and MPJ are effective not just because of their shot making, but also because they can apply real pressure at the rim. This shot by MPJ is basically, I'm 6'10" and you're too small to block me shot. Austin is trying, but he really can't do anything. This is obviously a tough shot, but this is the kind of play that you may need in critical moments where you need to absorb contact and finish. On this play by Austin Reaves, he doesn't even really try to get downhill. The Nuggets are obviously big at the rim, but so are the Lakers for that matter, and that doesn't stop a player like Jamal Murray from making an elite finish. Back on the Lakers front, D'Angelo Russell isn't a player that puts real pressure on the rim either. He plays below the rim, which isn't a bad thing as long as he's hitting his jumper. Game 1 was a struggle. Here, Christian Braun is playing physical defense, pressing him full court. Ideally, Russell would drive past him, but he's not that type of athlete with the quickness to blow by. He just ends up giving the ball up and almost creates a turnover. To his credit, after game 1, he heard the chatter and stepped up game 2. If he's not getting easy baskets, he'll definitely need to keep that jumper going. The Nuggets also have the advantage in terms of sheer youth. Now, some of you may say that the Lakers aren't actually that old. That's true, but they are older where it counts the most. Anthony Davis is 31 years old. He's still in his prime, but his main counter, Nikola Jokic, is 2 years younger. That's obviously not a huge gap, but in terms of sustaining the aggression you need for an entire game, Joker would have the edge. Take for example this play here. Anthony Davis is in pick and roll with LeBron. If he rolls to the rim, Joker will have to step up and the Lakers are guaranteed to get a good shot. But AD has been dominating all game and he's starting to run out of gas. So he settles for a three-pointer when he's not a good three-point shooter. Jamal Murray is at the I can keep playing all day age of 27. And then we have Mr. Old Faithful himself, LeBron James. We've been amazed at how he's still a dog when he's practically 40. We say, oh, I can't believe LeBron is still doing this. But then we miss the points where we should say, oh yeah, he's almost 40. It really shows when he can't keep his foot on the gas for long stretches in the game. At any given point, LeBron James can still look like the best player in the world. The issue is that it lasts for shorter stints because he gets tired faster. The turnover here, this is a fatigue turnover, really a lazy pass. On this play here, LeBron has a mismatch where he should drive to the rim. He'd guarantee a good shot because the defense will obviously collapse when he gets in the paint, but he settles for a low percentage sidestep 3. You saw it in game 2 also. How often does LeBron just lose his balance on a post-up, or just in general? Both AD and LeBron dominated in the first half of Game 2, but they expended tons of energy. Giving us such a big lead and then trying to ramp it back up gets really tough. Anthony Davis only took one shot in the fourth quarter. Some of that could have been scheme, but some of that was probably fatigue. To LeBron's credit, he did his best to carry the Lakers in the fourth quarter, but it just wasn't enough. The last advantage we'll talk about has to do with the Nuggets' late game execution versus the Lakers. The Nuggets rarely go multiple plays where they don't get a good shot, while the Lakers seem to forget what a good shot looks like throughout the game. The Lakers were up 12 points during the second quarter of Game 1, and they were up 20 points at the top of the third quarter in Game 2. Both leads ended up evaporating like they were never there. In Game 1, there were all kinds of breakdowns. AD has a mismatch, but he's foul gripping. He doesn't hustle back enough, gets cross-matched, and ends up guarding MPJ. Austin ends up on Joker, that forces Spencer to have to help, which ends up leading to a wide open corner three. Here, LeBron decides to make a cross-court pass when AD is right next to him. Execution. In Game 2, even worse. D'Angelo Russell basically throws a lob that's not even necessary. This is a super tough shot by Taurean Prince. Spencer Dinwiddie is pushing the pace, which plays right into the Nuggets' hands, and then he airballs a layup. We could see another sweep if these issues aren't addressed. Obviously, they can't trade anyone to address the athletic disadvantage in their starting five, but they do have athletes on the bench. Vincent played more in Game 2 than he did in Game 1, but frankly, he needs to get more minutes. Vincent is a quick player who's great at the point of attack, and he has finals experience unlike most on this roster. Max Christie, he's a young boy, but he's an athlete with good size who can hit a three. Just having him out there to chase around the Nuggets' wings will give a different look. Obviously, LeBron is not going to get any younger. Obviously, you don't want him out the game for prolonged stretches, so timeouts may need to be used for rest breaks. Game 2 ended with the Lakers having 2 timeouts left, and they never even used their challenge, even though Denver was successful on both their challenges. That's pretty mind-boggling. As far as execution, the Lakers just have to be sharper all the way around. When Denver goes on a run, the Laker coaching staff needs to rally the troops and keep everyone calm. Sometimes the game comes down to a bucket. That may sound simple, and that's because it is. If the Lakers can do these things, they have a chance to avoid a sweep. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. If you like this type of content, subscribe and hit that like button. Later.